Hey everybody, it's PaRiNormal time, episode number whatever, because I'm too lazy to look it up. I'll look it up after I edit it, because of course I'm probably going to have to edit the end out or whatever. But today is going to be on tulpas. And if you don't know what a tulpa is, essentially something that started off as like a fictional character, but like kind of manifested into like a real being or something like it is. What is that noise?
Is it me?
Do you hear it?
No.
Okay.
Is it back?
No. That was really fucked up.
I didn't hear anything.
We'll have to play it back. I hope that noise is there on... Oh my god. Anyway, so like, for example, one of the things that we're going to talk about is an example of a tulpa, in case you've never heard of it. Because honestly, prior to a Paratopia episode that I listened to, or explained what it is, I didn't know what it was either. I didn't know there was a name for it, but I guess there it is again.
Really?
It sounds like someone breathing into a microphone, or like a windstorm. Like what the fuck, man? You can hear it? Yeah, it's not a vacuum. It kind of sounds like a vacuum cleaner, but like not. Because it's not as loud. It just sounds like someone really windy. I don't know. It kind of creeps me out.
Bear with me. It might be me.
The weird thing is, it's like intermittent.
Let me see if I can fix it.
See, Yetis, they live in the forest, so kind of like high winds are normal. It's kind of conducive to their environment. So anyway, I'll try to ignore if it's just something that I have to deal with, but it was kind of weird. Anyway, so Slenderman is an example of a tulpa. And the history, like for sure history, because there's a lot of fake history, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But in June 10th, 2009, there's a guy called Victor Surge who created this fictional character. Well, actually, I don't know that it was really brought out as a fictional character, but there was a Photoshop contest where people had to edit everyday photos to appear to be paranormal. And it started out like these, and I'll try to put like pictures below, but there's like these kids, and it was black and white, and then in the background there's this figure, and it's like tall, thin, and he's wearing a black suit, and I think he had the little tentacle things, but I'm not sure if that particular one did. And for some reason it came out to be where people thought it was real, like a real like paranormal photo that they finally found like evidence that like paranormal exists, but it was actually just created. The strange thing about it is after this thing was created, people claimed to start seeing them like in real life. Now, of course, you're going to get your kooks out there that are either just seeing things because they're hallucinating, whatever, paranoid. Because, I mean, if you scare yourself enough, you can make yourself see stuff. Or it could just be people wanting attention, making up stuff. But for me, or to me, there's always like at least a couple that are genuine. Like out of any like paranormal field, whether it be UFOs, ghosts, aliens, etc. To me, there's always at least a couple people that seem like they're legit. And I don't know how I feel either way about this particular thing, but I still find it interesting nonetheless. And an unfortunate thing that ended up happening kind of as a result of the situation is people become kind of obsessed with it. And in 2004, there was an incident with like two young girls who stabbed one of their classmates because they basically said that like Slenderman told them to do it, because I don't know if they told them to do it, but they were trying to become a proxy. And I honestly didn't know what the fuck a proxy was until I started doing like research on it. But it's like basically like a servant to Slenderman. And I don't know if Slenderman told them to do this, or they just felt like by stabbing this person or killing them. I don't know what their intentions were, that they would become a proxy. I don't really know. But it happened, and I think another incident happened not too long after that. Yeah, another girl set their house on fire with the mother and 9-year-old brother still inside. And I don't know that it's been necessarily linked to it. Like, I don't know if she specifically said that she did it because of anything, but they did find online stories, some that were about Slenderman, and then like some other random thing that I never heard of. So, you know, anything can cause, I mean, if someone's, to me, okay, it's kind of like the whole video game thing where some people claim that video games cause violent behavior, stuff like that. To me, if someone is prone to those kind of violent urges, they're going to have those violent urges regardless, whether it's triggered by news or movies or video games or music. Something is going to trigger that behavior. It's not like you can just take a rational person and turn them into a violent psychopath that's like shooting up people. Do video games help that type of person become less stable? You know, it's possible, but like, I don't agree that you can take a perfectly sane person, expose them to something, and have it completely turn them to be insane. I don't buy that. So basically, the reason I bring that up is because like those girls, while Slender Man might have been like the trigger to them, there was something not quite there already. It was just, it happened to be that they obsessed about, and then, you know, the unfortunate events happened. So yeah, it's just really weird. And then like I found this one, this was on, I gotta open the link because I don't remember which one it was. It's just like a wiki, not like a Wikipedia, but a wikia. I don't know what that is, but it talks about the obsession. And it's a
proxies. Sorry.
I just randomly hear proxies.
Is that what you're talking about?
We were like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, well, of course, naturally.
We're talking about the obsession, which kind of does relate to proxies, so you're not so far off. But
I'll catch up in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's all good. Basically, what I gather from the obsession is just like they're people that become like, they start researching the Slender Man and then just become obsessed with it. They start writing symbols down, like, because like there's certain symbols that are kind of tied to the Slender Man. I don't know why, like the operator symbol, which is like a circle with an X through it. I don't know why it's tied to him. I couldn't really figure that out, but I guess it's because some people refer to him as the operator for whatever reason. I don't really know, but that's been tied to him. And then like just these like drawing him or whatever. It's just like an obsession, so they call it the obsession. But I guess it can turn into something where the obsession becomes too strong, and then they in turn want to become a proxy, which is like the servant of the Slender Man. Which, I mean, some of the shit is like fucking weird as hell. Like, I don't know if I sent it to you, Yeti, but there was like this one, I think it was on Reddit. It wasn't the one from today, it was from a couple days ago, where it was just like these people talking about the obsession. I think it was on Reddit.
The one that was titled Obsession?
Well, there was that one, and then there was... Where did I put it? Maybe I didn't send it to you, but it was kind of interesting. It was just like these people talking about like their supposed experiences with Slender Man, and then like a couple of people that were like, I guess regulars of the website, kind of just debunking them, making fun of them. Because, like, you know, there's just like a lot of people on there for like attention, which is super annoying when you're trying to take something somewhat seriously. But yeah, it's weird. Like people people are weird. And I think a lot of them are young kids that are just like bored or whatever, because you can tell by their grammar and the way that they talk that they're probably not that old. So
Yeah, and it seems like they just get wrapped up in I don't know, maybe like I don't want to say a trend, but like their best buddy is doing it or got into it, and then they get wrapped up into it, and it just takes one kid to take it a little bit further than the next, you know, and that's kind of what some of that seems like.
Definitely. And the thing about it, and again, I'm kind of undecided how serious I take certain things, because another thing that I want to do eventually is the video on like weird online rituals, or not, they're not really online, but the rituals I found online that you can do, like the elevator ritual, and there's like a staircase ritual, and they're just like weird things that you're supposed to do certain things. And a lot of it's like either trying to go to a different dimension, trying to summon a demon, like weird shit that's like, why would you even want to do that? Like, even if you didn't believe in it, like I personally, I don't think anything's going to happen if you do it necessarily, but why even chance it? Like, no good can come out of that shit whatsoever.
Why even tempt fate?
Right. It's just like, that's the kind of shit that I don't want to fuck with. And I think that's why some people do get fucked with. Because I do think that there are negative energies out there. I'm not really sure what they are, but it's just like they have no respect for it. So it ends up biting them in the ass. And in that regard, I don't really feel too bad for them, because it's like, you are the one that initiated this shit.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. I mean, if you go looking for something, you never know. I mean, especially if you don't know, there just might be something waiting, you know. And especially if you're open to it, you know, it might grab your ass, or you know, whatever the situation may be, you know.
Right. Like, I think the worst thing that I did a couple stupid things. I did like I was in Brownie Scouts, which is like Girl Scouts, but like younger. I was only in there for like, I don't even know, maybe a year, if that, because I got in trouble for something. I don't know what I did, but I basically was taken out of there. And during like one of the little parties that we had, because like we'd have like get-togethers, like where we'd go to like one of the parents' house and like we'd camp outside and like have a campfire type situation. And I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I remember we did try the Bloody Mary thing, but nothing happened. I don't know.
Naturally.
I mean, I've heard of stories where like some stuff happens, but like I've never personally known anybody that it's happened to. Oh, I did try light as a feather, stiff as a board type thing. That never worked.
That never worked.
No. I did mess with the Ouija board, which is, I don't know, depending on who you ask, you know, it can be really bad, or like some people say it's nothing. So it's kind of hard to know. I don't really think it's the board itself that's necessarily dangerous. I think it's like the intent involved that can be. It depends, I guess, on what you're trying to do, because some people are trying to invite stuff in, like invoke demons, stuff like that, which I never was into that shit. I was just kind of like a general, like, hey, anybody there, whatever. And I don't think anything happened, but it's possible. Because like I did hear, like, I don't know if it was the same day or if it was like a couple days after, I heard scratching on the walls. Like it was like in sets of 3, which I heard like anything in sets of 3 isn't really that good. And mind you, we did have cats though. So, well, we had one cat, and then the neighbor downstairs, because we lived in a duplex, they had cats. So there's no ruling out that it possibly could be a cat. But like we were unable to find where it was coming from, because it sounded almost like it was coming from inside the wall. Like it was weird, because it sounded like it was coming from inside and outside at the same time. And it was just like in sets of 3, like scratch, scratch, scratch. And then it would stop for a minute. Scratch, scratch, scratch. And that was like the really active house, one of the really active houses I lived in.
Well, I'm not going to say. I was going to say, well, it could have been like a rat or a mouse, but I've heard stories of some of the places you lived. So you never know.
We did have mice there, but I mean, this was loud. It wasn't coming from us. It would have had to have come from a cat or something larger.
I see.
How loud it was, and
Right.
it felt like it had weight behind it, you know? So
Yeah.
whether, like I said, whether or not it was paranormal or not, I don't know. Just the timing was odd because I never heard it any other time except then, like right after we had messed with the Ouija board. And I didn't say goodbye like you're supposed to because I didn't know. Which I guess is a big no-no. But yeah, and then I messed with the Ouija board again. Think I'd learned my lesson. No. In that girl's house with the fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing happened. But still not a good idea.
I'm surprised.
And I left it at her house. I'm like, I ain't bringing that home. I just like put it under the couch. I'm like, I ain't fucking with that shit.
My only experience with the Ouija board is with my buddy and his mom, and I was gung ho. I was like, hell yeah, let's do this thing, you know. And we got everything all ready and was all gung ho, and we just knew we was going to talk to a ghost, you know. And we got going, started asking all these questions, you know, and then it started moving. So I was like, oh, wow, holy shit, you know, it's real. And then I started watching, and I know for a fact that I wasn't even hardly touching the planchette. And I know my buddy, I could see gaps between his fingers and the planchette. It was his fucking mom. She was sitting there moving her fingers were mashed down so hard you could see white underneath her fingernails. She was moving the goddamn thing, and she's like, no, it's not me, you know. It's like, you fucking asshole.
See, I hate when people do that. I'd rather have nothing happen. Exactly.
Because, you know, at first I was sold. I was like, holy shit. You know?
Right.
And then I started, you know, the analytical part of my brain started kicking in. I was like, wait a minute, you know, because the way it felt, it felt like somebody was dragging it, you know.
Right.
And then I started looking at hands, and I caught her ass, and I called her out on it, and she was like, no. And then she got pissed off and left. And believe it or not, when she left, all the activity stopped.
Oh.
Weird. Yeah, it was unexplainable.
She must have been psychic.
Yeah, she was the conduit.
Yes, a medium. So, I'm trying to think of. I mean, I knew it was going to be a short topic, but damn, I didn't expect it to be this short. I don't know why I'm so out of it today. Like, my friend was asking
your schedule change.
Yeah, probably. I do feel kind of just like I'm still trying to, like, my brain is so fucked up. That's why I was like, they offered the 1 to 10 to me, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it, because you go to 8 to 5 to 1 to 10. I think that's too much of a change. The 11 to 8 is bad enough, but I don't know. It's just weird.
Do you know much about the story of the girls that got all Slendermaned up and started stabbing her friend? You know much about that story?
I briefly went into it. I just kind of said that, you know, it happened. I didn't go into detail about it, though.
Yeah, I didn't know. I know that she lived. I don't know much about. All I know is that they were blaming it on Slenderman. I don't know. That's about all I know.
Basically, there was 2 different events that happened. 2 12-year-old girls stabbed one of their classmates. And when they were questioned, they basically said that they wanted to murder the kid as the first step to being a proxy. So, again, as I had stated before, I don't know if the Slender Man specifically told them to do it, or if it was just something that they did, like, oh, this will, you know, get us in with the Slender Man. I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't really say anyway. And then there was another one, ironically from Cincinnati, Ohio represent, where a
I
13-year-old.
thought there was one from up there.
Oh yeah, she attacked her mother with a knife, and that was about it. I guess she had been reading some Slenderman articles. It doesn't really. I don't think she specifically said it had anything to do with it, but they found that she had been reading about Slenderman and some other things. And then another one, a 14.
Tried to link it to it.
Yeah, 14-year-old set their house on fire with the mother and their brother inside. Again, they were reading some things about Slenderman. So I mean, it's not necessarily the last two, not necessarily linked to Slenderman. It's just they happen to be reading up on it. So I guess no, I should never do anything crazy because the shit that they'd be like, what the fuck was she researching? Like, look, like UFOs and aliens like cause you to be crazy. I don't know. But like I was saying before, I think if you're crazy, you're crazy. I don't think anything can cause you to be crazy. Like you're either crazy or you're not.
Sometimes there's a trigger that makes you flip over the edge, but you're right. You're crazy regardless, but something makes you just go from crazy to batshit crazy.
Right. But I mean, of course, like if you're in something traumatizing, it's different. It's not the same thing. But like merely reading about something or watching something, I don't think that's going to cause you to like stab people or whatever. Like you clearly have no grip on reality. Yeah, but I started reading on the whole.
Sorry.
I thought that was you because like you had coughed at the same time as they started doing it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like you need to get that checked out, boy.
Sorry.
You heard it here. Vaping causes you to bark. Watch it.
That's only if you sub home.
Yeah. Gotta drink some electrolytes. Anyway, one thing I do want to like mention, and it's kind of related but not necessarily, is I'm probably again going to be moving the show because, it's just with my schedule, even though it's better that it's like in the evening, it gives me less of a leeway, especially with another show going on at 10. I think it's 10. So, because I'm not guaranteed to be out of work at 8 specifically. Like if I'm stuck on a call or I get a call like at 7:59 or whatever, I have to stay until that call is, taken care of or whatever. And my calls can be long. So I was thinking about it, and I think I'm going to move to Sunday early evening, so like 6 or 7 p.m. Because I know the other show, I think they moved their time too. I'm not really sure. Because usually I'd be working at the time that their show was on, so I never really got used to when their show is. I think it's 8 p.m. I don't know if it's always been 8 p.m., but so I have to be done by then. So it's probably going to be like 6 p.m. Sunday. That way I don't have to worry about, getting from work at a certain time or getting to work at a certain time. It'll just be on the weekend. Hopefully it can be just like permanent where I don't have to freaking switch again. I'm kind of sick of switching. I'm sure people are sick of switching. So now that I know what my schedule is, and I don't think it's going to be changing anytime soon, that just seems to be the best bet. And then I guess Fresh is moving his show to Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. Friday. So, yeah, that's that.
Yeah. I was gonna tell you about that. What I was telling you about the Tulpas. There was a research team, and they were like parapsychology students, and I guess would-be ghost hunters and stuff like that. It was around, I think it was 70. For some reason, 79 is sticking in my mind. But I'm not exactly sure on the year. but I know that there was 6 students and one, I guess, a teacher or a leader. And what it is they all got together and they were going to try to make a thought form. They were going to invent a tulpa. They were going to create their own, I guess, real life creepypasta. You know, they gave this guy, they all sat down, like, you know, they had a meeting and sat down and gave this guy a name, a birthday. They gave him a history, like a past, and, you know, certain aspects that happened. They gave him a family. I mean, the dude was if you didn't know, he would have been a real live human being. I mean, of course they didn't give him like social security number and all that shit, but, you know, they gave him a story. And they all 7 of them concentrated on this guy and thought about the whole story of this guy. And I couldn't, that's why I was telling you, I wish I could have brought it up so that you could have seen it. Anyways, they started doing, I guess, like a seance type thing, or I don't think they were doing a Ouija board, but I think they were holding like seances and things of that nature, and stuff started coming through. And when they were separate, because when they were holding the seances, they thought it could have just been the collective of them being together and, you know, just thinking of it, and you're going to see something or hear something just because everybody's focused on the same thing. So naturally, you're going to, if something happens and you're going to think, oh, well, that was our thing that we're thinking of. Well, after a couple of months, things started happening while they were separated. When they, you know, things in their own lives started happening, like people would get pieces of mail with that guy's name on it, and his address would show up at their, like at their house, even though it's not the same address. They would get phone calls with people asking for that guy's name. And this was a totally closed group. Nobody knew about it. It was, you know, it wasn't like in the papers, or, of course, there wasn't computers at the time. So it was totally isolated. And basically, they invented a thought form. And apparently shit got really kind of crazy, and they had to kill the guy in their story. They had to somehow they ended up causing it to where he ended up dying, or somehow they changed the story and made it to where he died or was dead or whatever. Anyways, it was just kind of, these are like academic people, and they did an actual paranormal study. And if you want to believe the thought forms are real, then they actually created a real life tulpa, you know, and nobody really knows about it because tulpas aren't known very well, you know, in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a really interesting story, just hearing, because I mean, there was a shit ton of things that was happening to these people, you know, not just like letters showing up. I mean, it was like really, it was enough to scare all of them into shutting the program down, you know, because I think it went on for like 12 or 13 months, and they finally just said, you know, the hell with it.
No.
But it was really, really interesting. When I find that, I will, I'll send it to you so that you can hear the the depths of the insanity.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's really neat. Creepy as shit, but
I was reading while I was at work, but that's not going to happen anymore. They started they put a tracking thing on our phone or on the laptop, so I guess if you go anywhere you're not supposed to, supposedly it emails the IT guy. I don't know if it's like a rumor, so basically you don't do it. I don't know. But I'm like afraid to do it now, but it's messed up because like on my spare time, because like we have like a lot of downtime even when we're not just like in between calls, because like I've tried to explain before, the calls that I have are kind of long. They're not like short calls. So like a lot of times you're just like waiting for me to do stuff. So like in the meantime, I'd be reading because like I don't like just sitting there. So I'd be reading No Sleep Reddit, which is like my shit. And there's like a lot of cool stories on there. The only, like I said before, the only thing that I don't like about that site is some of them are fiction, so it's kind of like a creepypasta thing. But you can't question whether or not it's fictional or not. It's like a rule. Like you have to pretty much take it as it being genuine, which I think is bullshit. Because it's like some people are, you know, making stories, and it's like I think they should be, they should disclose whether or not it's real or not, especially on a site where some of the stories are real, and they'll tell you like this really happened to me. Like this really, it's like separate them. I mean, if you want creepypasta, write the shit on creepypasta. Like keep that shit separate. I don't like them mingling together.
Yeah, I agree. But see, in a situation like that, they can be like, just like on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like this is a true story, believe every word I say, and then tell you a big pile of shit, you know, just to get your mind going, holy shit, that really happened, you know. That's why they tell you not to question.
Right, and that's why I don't like that. Like, it's just like keep the shit separate. Like, we already have enough people that are like, "Oh, this is bullshit," and then like because this story was claimed to be bullshit or proven to be bullshit, all of it's bullshit. And I mean, that's the nature of the phenomena or whatever. Like, there has to be some level of disinformation to keep it going. I guess it's just. I don't know. I don't like that. Like, especially when I go on a forum, it's like I want to hear legit shit, not stuff like, "Oh, you're allowed to write fake shit," but you can't question that person whether or not it's fake shit or not. Like,
right?
Hi, ST. What the fuck? I guess he stopped saying damn.
Yeah, I think
now.
that's.
Instead of damn, it's what the fuck. Or maybe that's just for me. I don't know. Anyway. I feel like I had more to talk about, like, regarding the topic, and I'm like...
I know, because if there's a shit ton of stuff online about it, but it doesn't translate well in communication, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like...
I do know that some of those... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't really saying anything.
I was just going to say that some of the pictures are fucking creepy as shit.
What, a Slenderman?
The Slenderman? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know about 95% of them are computer generated, right. But even some of them will freak your shit out, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just like the alien pictures people claim to have, and a lot, if not all of them are fake, but they're still creepy as fuck. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's go to this then. This is something I was thinking about. Okay. So, for example, with the Slenderman situation, we know for a fact that this person supposedly created this character completely out of fiction. Okay. And yet some people claim to have seen it in real life, whatever. And yeah, again, some can be lying, blah, blah, blah. But just say, for example, that there is this phenomena. So did the person create the phenomena and then it manifested? Or was the phenomena always there, but needed some kind of outlet to be seen, or maybe drawing attention to it made it more prevalent? So it's like, or maybe something inspired that person to create the character, even though it really already existed. So it's kind of like the chicken or the egg type situation almost.
Yeah.
Because I know in other instances, because like a part of the reason the Slenderman became so popular is because like people were creating kind of a fake backstory. Like people in Germany saw this and all this other stuff, which that was proven to be fake as well. So it's like, it's hard to tell like how much of it is just fake and how much of it, because like we know at least part of it, if not all of it, was just fabricated. But it's like, was there a reason for the fabrication, or what is it just like hallucinations? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's really fucking weird.
Was there something guiding them to think up what they were thinking up?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. See, that's exactly like what I was saying about the people that did the study. You know, that's what they did. They developed an entire backstory, and you know, so much thought went into it that it actually became real. You know, and it's the same thing with the Slender Man, because the Slender Man came from a creepypasta, or that's what the theory is, or I believe they tracked it down that it really did come from a creepypasta, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, supposedly it came from a Photoshop contest where you had to take an ordinary photo and make it creepy. Because originally it was said to be or thought to be from a creepypasta. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't really know.
Well, yeah, but and then here comes the backstory, and then this person says, well, you know, I've got a picture like that too, and this happened to us, and then this guy over here has a similar story, you know, and then that just gives credence to the whole thing, you know, and that's like what we're saying, you know, everybody starts building up this backstory, and you spend enough time thinking about it, gives it enough energy, then does it really become real?
Right.
Or like you were saying, was it already real? And and something was telling you to think about it.
Right.
I don't know. Shit, we could speculate all day.
Yeah. I know I bring up Paratopia quite a lot, but it's honestly like a really good podcast. And it's extensive. There's a lot of episodes, and I think they moved on to like a different, I think it's called Oculus. It's like a new segue from Paratopia. So I think that one is still going on. Paratopia, I don't think goes on anymore. But in at least one episode, they were talking about thoughts manifesting themselves into reality. So it's like the whole perception is reality, and you create your own reality is actually more literal than figurative, like people think. And I think that kind of corresponds to something like this, where it's like you have so many people thinking about it, or even just like a couple of people thinking about it, or maybe you in your own life thinking about something and then it happens. So again, is it like, are you causing it to happen, or is there something on the back end that's like, okay, this is already about to happen, but here, think about it first. I don't know. It's weird.
Right.
Because that's like the whole deja vu thing and stuff like that kind of corresponds to that, where like reality isn't as physical or like solid or whatever as you think it is. It's more fluid, and really nothing is real per se, like the way you perceive reality to be. It's all like fluctuating and changing, and that's why I think science, as good as it, dropping my shit, as good as it is, and like how it proves a lot of stuff, like the fact that it's always changing is like truth is only like for that moment. Like truth tends to change like over time. Like what's true now is not true later. And it's like, I don't know. It's weird. Like I can't like get my brain, the thoughts in my brain out.
No, I see what you're saying. The truth is only the truth for that moment, or that particular moment. What could be true today might not be the truth tomorrow. I know I see where you're going with that.
Johnny. But you know what? Like, and I know he's probably joking over there, but like weird stuff like that has happened, where people claim to see something from like a movie, like a completely fictional character they claim to see in real life. So it's like, what the fuck is that about? And it's not just one person.
Yep.
It's like a lot of different people. So it's like, yeah, again, there's people that are crazy. There's people that hallucinate, whatever. But it's like, are every single one of those people hallucinating? I don't know.
Well, that could go in. That could go in with the whole Bloody Mary thing too. If you got enough people believing the shit, and there's enough thought in it, and they, when you're in there doing it, are you seeing an actual entity, or is it just your mind telling you that you're seeing whatever you're seeing? Because they say that there's thought in, or there's power in thought. I don't know how thick you want to get with it, but I mean, I guess you could say that. I don't know, but I've heard the same also about like things on TV or movies coming true to an extent, but I've never experienced anything like that, so I can't speak of it.
As far as like your thoughts or whatever manifesting themselves.
Right.
Well, I kind of did I think I did a video on this a while back, and it's not necessarily the same thing, but it's kind of the same thing. So back when I was delivering, I randomly, for no reason, like there was really no justifiable reason, I was thinking about this particular client. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're going to order anytime soon. And then literally, like, it was on the way back from a delivery. I get in the store. It was like a couple minutes later. There's a delivery for that client. And they're not a, like, everyday client. They're, like, every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if I'll get them. And it ended up being my delivery. So then I'm on the way to the delivery, and I'm thinking, because for some reason it's like a secured location. I still haven't really figured out exactly what they do there. But they're like, usually they won't even let you inside. You have to be in like a certain area, and you need like access to get in and all sort of crap. So I was thinking, like, on the way to delivery, I'm like, they let me in to the one part last time. I wonder if they'll ever let me all the way back, because I kind of want to see inside, like what it looks like. And I get there, and they let me back there. And I'm like, it was just weird. It was like one after the other after another. And it's like, did I inadvertently like cause it to happen, or did I already know it was going to happen? And that's like the weird thinking. I don't know. Like it's strange. And it all happened at once for like no fucking reason.
So yeah, that is kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's strange. And like the name of the person that ordered, which is again not, because like several different people from the place order, and I don't even think I've ever gotten this particular guy. Like I had thought of his name randomly before going there. I don't know. It's weird. And I don't consider myself psychic or anything like that. So
yeah, I was gonna say some would call that psychic.
Yeah, I mean, I do think I have. I think I'm sensitive to an extent, but as far as any of that goes, I don't know that I even believe in it really at all because it's so inconsistent. Yeah,
it's not tangible enough for me.
No.
The theory is really interesting, and I have seen some weird shit, but nothing that I could say that I'm dead set 100% believer. I don't know that I believe in that. Maybe the possibility, yeah, but till I see something definitive, I don't know.
Yeah, the problem with stuff like this
That's
is
just me.
Really, like, people want proof, but I don't know how you prove stuff like this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and again,
personal experience.
Yeah, it's for the observer, it seems. It's like it almost doesn't want to be proven, which is strange. Like, why?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's frustrating because it's like you want other people to experience just merely because you don't want to seem so odd and like crazy, like, because a lot of the shit sounds crazy. Like, all the things that I've experienced, had I not experienced them, I mean, I don't I'm more open-minded than most, so I might be prone to believe it depending on the person, but I can see where it's not believable and people will be like, oh, this bitch is crazy. But the odd thing about it is, just like other people in the same kind of situation, it spiked up around adolescence. It did spike up again, like early 20s, but then since then has decreased, at least in the way that it used to be. Now, lately, I've been experiencing some other shit that I don't really know what the deal is. I think it's just my sleep schedule being really fucked up. At least I hope it is. But as far as like seeing shit like ghosts and all that, like I don't really experience that anymore. And I think there's a lot of reasons why. But it's like, if I was legitimately crazy, wouldn't that continue regardless? Like, it wouldn't be situational. It wouldn't be dependent on whether or not another person was around, because it seemed to spike up around another person who was sensitive. So it's like, I don't know. That to me gives it at least some justification that it isn't just hallucinations and stuff like that. On top of the fact that my friend caught something on camera, so it's like,
Yeah.
in an area that was very active.
That would be what you just said, though. I mean, saying you, and I'm going to say her because I think it's probably who you always talk about, right? And when you're together, you saw shit.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting to do, like a quick little test. You know, just make contact with her or this person and see if something happens again. You know what I mean? Or,
well, the thing with her is, and I don't want to get into like too much because it's like whatever. We used to be best friends a while ago, and then as people do, you leave jobs and all that, and we just fell out of touch and whatever. I had tried reaching out to her again, I don't know, about 3 years ago. She said she was going to call me, as she usually does, and then doesn't. So it's just not feasible. And I'm not the type of person, like, I don't take rejection well, whether it's meant to be rejection or not. So like, I don't like wasted effort. So if I contact you, you say you're going to contact me back and you don't, I'm not going to keep pestering you, be like, hey, where are you? Whatever. So it's like, I feel like I did my part. They didn't fulfill their end. So I'm done. Like, I'm not going to be like a stalker and be like, why aren't you calling me? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not going to happen. And mind you, when the shit was going on, while everything was intensified when we were near each other, we still were on our own experiencing stuff. I just didn't experience where I live now because, again, this house is relatively newer. Like, it's not super new, but like only one other person has lived here, one other like couple. I don't think anyone's died here yet. So there's just not a lot of, I guess, material for like something like that to happen. Whereas where she lived, it was an older house. A lot of people had been in and out of it. It was by a nature park, like right next to it. Like, you could walk like 2 minutes and be in the nature park, which seems to, for whatever reason, spike up shit happening.
Yeah.
So there was just a lot more stuff over there. But I had experienced stuff not with her. It's just, it was a lot worse when we both were together. So
yeah, I just think that's interesting.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I don't know that I want to, fuck with shit. You know what I mean? Like, being older and like having a job, because like back when all this was going on, like, yeah, I had a job, but it wasn't like a real job. Like, it wasn't a career type thing, like, to where if I were to lose it, it would have been that big of a deal because it was just a shitty job or whatever. But it's like, now I have a lot more to lose if fucked up shit happens and it affects my life. And I don't know. I just don't want to like antagonize it. So it's like, I mean, yeah, it would be interesting to see if things would happen. But at the same time, again, do you want to tempt it? Do you want to push it? Like, I do talk to people that have a lot of shit happening to them currently. But do I want to provoke it? No. Like, sometimes I feel weird even talking to the person because I know a lot of shit happens. And it's like, don't leak that shit onto me. because it's really fucked up. But at the same time, like, that fucking crazy curiosity always kills me. And like, I know I shouldn't be reading this shit, especially at night. And I had to back off because I was reading it like right before I go to bed, and then I had really fucked up dreams. So like, I had to back off a little bit. But I probably shouldn't be delving into it at all. But like, it's, I guess, just me being a glutton for punishment, where I do it anyway because I find it interesting.
Yeah, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting to me.
But the odd thing is, like, I seem to attract like other experiencers, and like, it comes from like all different types of places, like whether it be coworkers, people I just randomly talk to on the internet. It'll just randomly come up for whatever reason, and then they're like, oh yeah, like a lot of fucked up shit's happened to me. Maybe it's because, I don't know, I seem to have the personality where people feel comfortable telling me really fucked up shit because I'm so blunt, where they feel like I won't judge them as harshly, or even if I do happen to judge them, at least they'll know it because I'm so blunt about everything. Like, if I don't buy something, well, it depends on the person, the situation, because I try not to shit on people's, beliefs or whatever, because even though it doesn't sound legit to me, it doesn't mean that it isn't. So I kind of try to keep that to myself, because I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, be like, oh, you're full of shit. But in most situations, like cut and dry situations, I'll tell somebody that I think they're full of shit. So I think to some degree it's kind of a relief to know that somebody's at least honest with you and straightforward with you. You don't have to like beat around the bush with them. But yeah, people just divulge crazy shit to me.
Maybe you're just approachable. They just feel comfortable telling you stuff, I guess. I don't know.
I've been told many times that I'm very unapproachable, but I think that's in a different way. Speaking of fucked up shit, it's kind of unrelated, but speaking about being approachable, I was telling Fresh about it. So at my current job, we don't have like scheduled breaks or anything, but you're allowed to take a little bit of time to go do whatever you need to do. So I take vape breaks. That's pretty much what I do. And you can't vape inside, so I have to go all the way outside. So I typically just go to my car because I don't want to be bothered. Because like, they have like a smoking section where other people vape and stuff, but it's like, I don't smoke because I don't want to be around smoke. So I'm not going to go vape by somebody that's smoking. And plus it's cold as shit. So I just went in my car, and like, I literally hadn't even been there for like, I don't know, a minute. And like, this car just like pulls up. And mind you, I work in a building where like, if you don't work where I work, especially on the side of the building where I was, there's no reason for you to be over there. Like, there's nothing around it. There's no shopping around it. So if you're in the parking lot in the area that I am, you more than likely work there. So I'm just like chilling, whatever, vaping. I literally had like 3 vapes. And this car just pulls right up next to me. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, I don't like I like to be alone. Like, when I take my vape time, I just want to be alone. That's my alone time. I get like 10 minutes, if that, just to be alone during my workday. And I like it. And this motherfucker pulls up right next to you. There's like all these parking spots. It's completely empty, like outside of like maybe 10 cars sporadically placed. And this motherfucker pulls up right next to me. I'm like, motherfucker. Now I can't vape in peace because I feel like I'm being watched, even though they're not watching me. But in this case, he was. So I'm like vaping, whatever. And then finally I see like movement out of my peripheral, and I look over, and the guy is just like, and I'm just being friendly. I'm like, hi. I figured maybe it was a coworker or something, because I don't really know everybody there yet. Like, I've only been there a month. So I just like wave back. And I'm on my phone texting Fresh at this time. So keep that in mind. So like, he's all like, and I'm like, this might be a bitch move. This might be a bitch move. But I just kind of laughed, and I just shook my head no. And I know it's kind of bitchy, but it's like, no, I'm not just gonna, no. And then like, I kind of just like avoided eye contact from then on, but then I felt self-conscious because like he was like smoking like some black and mild shit. I don't know. My theory is he pulled over to the side to like smoke a blunt or something, because like why else would you pull into a random parking lot on a side of a building to do anything else smoking a black and mild? So I'm like, oh my God. So I knew he was doing that, and I'm just like, how long do I want to sit here and probably be stared at the whole fucking time? And I can't even say I don't have a phone because I was literally just fucking with my phone. So I can't be like, no, I don't have a phone. So I just shook my head and was like, no. It was so awkward. And it pissed me off because it ruined my vape break. Like I felt like I couldn't really vape after that because he was like staring at me the whole fucking time. Probably like, what is she doing? Is she like smoking pot too? I don't know, because most people think I'm doing drugs when I'm vaping. So I'm like, so I took like 2 vapes, shut my car off, and went inside. And then I went up to the building because you can see my car like where I was parked at from where I sit. And I'm just looking, and he's still parked next to my car. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? So like I kept like looking periodically, and finally he just drove off. So clearly he just like drove there to do his business and then left. But it was like, why? Ruin my vape break. So that's my story. I don't even know why. Why did I bring that up? Oh, because of being blunt and stuff. Oh, blunt. Haha. So yeah, it was annoying. Like I said, it might be a bitchy move, but I'm not going to give someone a fake number or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I just shook my head no. It's super awkward. I don't like that shit. Just kept it moving. Hi. So that was my excitement for the day. That's when you know you have a really boring life. Is when someone possibly smoking a black and mild laced with something is like the height of your day, or the most exciting thing that happens in your day. And yesterday, the most exciting thing of the day was some asshole thought he could drive over the median because, like, I don't know, where I work is kind of weird, but like there's like this street behind the building that you can go to if you go around and then back, that like leads to like the little shopping center that's over there. Well, I guess this asshole decided he didn't want to take the little street or whatever. He's just going to go over the curb because he's got like some stupid, I think it was like an Explorer or something. It was like an SUV, but it was still pretty low. Not like a truck where you could like go over everything. Well, the motherfucker got stuck. He's just peeling out because it was also muddy because it had just snowed and it was thawed and everything. So then this truck had to like come on the other end and like push him out. So that like drew the whole office to the side of the building to look and kind of laugh at the dude. So that was the excitement of yesterday. The office life. Yeah. Why does it sound like you're muted, Yeti? Yeah. It's still not working. He said fuck, and then he left, in case you couldn't read lips. I'm reading comments now. I'm sorry this episode isn't as interesting as I thought it was going to be. I really thought that be able to talk about it a little more than whatever. It happens.
How's that?
Okay, I can hear you again.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all good.
Hillbilly.
Go fund me. Get Yeti a headset.
Yeah, I just spent $120 on this one. Are you kidding?
120. Well, what the fuck's the problem then?
It's the thing that jack. It's not. They don't jive. I don't know if that makes sense. I need an external microphone. Is what I need.
Your laptop doesn't do it? Didn't you just get a new laptop?
Yeah, it's a brand new laptop.
And it don't have a webcam on it?
Yeah, it's got a webcam. I need an external microphone.
It should have a built-in microphone.
It does, but when I've got the headphones plugged in, it uses the microphone that's on this, and this thing sucks ass.
Well, why do you need the headphones plugged in?
Because for one, I can't hear for shit.
Oh.
Like I have, like I've got tinnitus real bad, and I can't hear. So that for one, and just to prevent any other feedback or other issues.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Ever since I got the headphones, and they just don't seem to. It doesn't. I have to time, like when I plug it in. I have to plug it in like just at the right time when it clicks over to the Hangout. It's really kind of hillbilly, but it's the only way I can get it to work.
Yeah.
It's all brand spanking new equipment too, and I still got to monkey with shit.
Urban legends and ghost stories from Japan. Well, me and Yeti have talked about doing one on the suicide forest. That's in Japan. I think in Japan. Because that is something we do want to talk about eventually. We'll keep it in mind. I have to, like I said, I still have to get used to the schedule. And the fact that I can't read at work kind of fucks everything up because I know it's bad or whatever, but I get very bored easily. I get bored very easily. So it helped being able to read stuff in between, but now I can't do that shit. And I can't do it on my phone because it would eat up my data because we don't have access to Wi-Fi and we can't use the Wi-Fi at work either. So it's like, whatever. Do I have any new gear? No. Chat is the chat really delayed or?
No, I don't think it's really active though. It seems like it's been that way all evening. Yeah,
they put me on to fall asleep.
The suicide forest is very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Download ebooks. But like, would I need internet access to be able to read them? No. Because I'd have to read it on my phone.
If you get a Kindle, you can have Kindle on your phone, and as long as you have it downloaded, you can pull it up anytime.
Huh. That may be an option. It's just the internet is so much more versatile and... Hi, Momo. Momo demands attention. She'll literally just smack you. Anyway. See, she's looking at me now. Momo. What you doing, motherfucker? She's like, are you talking to them people again? What'd I tell you about that shit? It's Momo time. Anyway. Yeah, the internet's just so much more... Like, you can just find everything on the internet. Whereas a book, it's like one subject from one person's perspective. So it's kind of just not ideal. But I don't know. I'll figure a way. I'll figure out a way to fuck around. I will. I was thinking about printing shit out like old school. Just like printing it out here and then taking it to work with me and just reading it there. Just like have it look like it's my notes for work. It's not. It's just kind of fucked up, but it's like, ugh.
That is fucked that they won't let you do anything.
I don't know. My mentality is as long as you're doing your job, and because I mean, it's kind of impossible not to because you get calls. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, you have to take the call and do it.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll know because, like, you know, your call is disconnecting, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, as long as I'm taking my calls, I don't think it should matter. But a lot of companies don't believe that. They give you busy bullshit work. And since I'm so new, there's only so much busy bullshit work I can do. There's a lot of shit I don't know. So it's like, I don't know. I never heard of hauntings in Niagara Falls. That's interesting. A Canadian paranormal show. Whole.
Yikes, eh?
I don't think I've ever done like anything Canadian based. I'll try to write it down somewhere.
Sorry to hear that, Kevin.
Yeah.
I hope that turns out well. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, I've always been worried about that. The good thing about living where I live is there's a lot of different doors that she'd have to go through to get outside. And then the dogs are there, so usually she doesn't want to go that far anyway. But like when I lived in an apartment, one of the days, because like it was a weird looking apartment. It looked like a fucking motel type setup. Whereas it's just like ground level, you open the door and it's outside. There's no balcony, no nothing. And I opened the door to do something, and Momo ran out. And it freaked me out. Like my heart just like fucking stopped. Luckily, she just literally got like maybe 10 feet away, and I was like, Momo! And she stopped. And then I kind of tried to like, because I didn't want to like approach her because I was afraid I was going to make her run more. But she's pretty good where like she knows she's not supposed to be somewhere. She will run the other way where she's supposed to be. And she went back inside, but I'm like, oh my God. That's some scary fucking shit. And I always worried about that, like living in like a like I was lucky in the house that I lived in for like a year where it had an enclosed porch. So even if she went out like the first door, there's still the enclosed porch portion. So it was like two layers of protection.
Right.
But that's some scary shit.
That is scary.
Especially when my cat is like my child.
Our dog got out. She got out once when she was still little. She took off running across the front yard, and this asshole was driving down, and he saw her, so he slowed down. Well, she was barking at him, and then she ran around the front of his car, and the asshole gunned it and rolled her ass underneath his car. And then me and my buddy took off. We were hauling ass after him, and we was going to catch him and fucking kill him, but he took off, and we found her. She was in the ditch, and she was all banged up, all beat to hell. Her hip was broke, her tail's all messed up, but she pulled through somehow. Luckily, she pulled through because it sucked. It was on I think it was Memorial Day or Labor Day. It was a holiday weekend, and I couldn't get her into any vets, even the on-call vets. Nobody could see her till like it was like Tuesday, I think, and this was a Saturday. So she just had to lay in pain. I was giving her aspirin and shit like that, but we nursed her back, and she sits funny now, but she's fine. But, yeah, we never saw that dude again. He never came back down our road. So if he did, he was definitely in a different vehicle because I was looking for his ass.
Yeah, that shit's.
I just couldn't believe that he gunned it when she was in front of him. Yeah, that's what was shitty.
Yeah, I don't see, like, even if I don't like an animal, I'm not gonna go out of my way to kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. Especially someone's pet, like something like a dog where it's probably somebody's pet. I don't get it. Like, even kids, like, everyone knows that I don't, like, love children. Like, don't get me wrong, I think some are cute, like, whatever. But, like, I don't, like, have this crazy attachment to children. But, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to fight one. Huh?
Neither do I. And I have too.
But it's just like, you know, I would never want to hurt a child or see a child hurting or anything like that. And it's just like, the mentality of some people is just strange to me.
Yeah.
I just can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like a super lovey-dovey person. Like, I'm just, like, people in general, I'm kind of weary about, but I don't know. To each their own, I guess.
Humans are the worst animal.
Huh?
Humans are the worst animal on earth, I believe.
pretty much. And unfortunately, most of them seem to be decent. It's just the percentage that are assholes kind of like stand out more. But it is what it is. All right, I think we've gone way off topic and we're running into another person's time zone thing. And I want to finish my Hot Pocket because I didn't finish. That's my gourmet supper, you know, Hot Pockets. So my Hot Pocket ain't too hot anymore. Pocket? Yeah, it's kind of like a lukewarm pocket right now. Yeah, it's kind of a hard pocket right now. Because you know how when you reheat shit that's like frozen and then it gets warm or whatever, it gets really hard. And sometimes hard things are not good. Sometimes. So on that note, sorry it wasn't more interesting. Hopefully it was somewhat interesting, even if it wasn't really paranormally all related. But
next time.
Hopefully. Again, I'm aiming for, what is that, April 16th to do the first PaRiNormal show on Sunday, which I'm hoping to be like the permanent time slot, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And maybe it'll be a little bit more better for people that, because like some people say that, you know, some of the shows are too late and, you know, they have to work or whatever. So maybe it'll be more feasible for some people. But if it's not, you can always watch a replay, something like that. But hopefully that's like the permanent thing and I don't have to change it anymore. And I don't have to rush to work or whatever. It'll just be that. So we're going to try it. I don't know if I'm going to do like because I usually do every other week, 1 week just chatting, which kind of was like this one. This is kind of mostly just chatting. And then the other week, PaRiNormal. So I don't know if this Sunday I might try just to do a chat. I don't know. Because I don't know how much I'll have to talk about. I mean, not that I really ever have anything super interesting to talk about, but I don't know. We'll see. But the first PaRiNormal show we're aiming for next Sunday. So that's about it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.